Friends, I hasten to share with you the emotional material of the publication Petrolicious about the rare classic sports car Maserati Ghibli SS, which will definitely not leave anyone indifferent. And to make you feel the atmosphere better, I added a couple of photos with a beautiful Dubai sunrise to the article. Read and share your opinions in the comments. It's only 5 a.m. on the clock. Traffic at this time is still calm, and when I arrive at the site, the impressive Tomini Classics showroom emerges from the darkness of the surrounding buildings. It's not far from the iconic sail-shaped Burj Al Arab Jumeriah, the most luxurious hotel in the world, and not just in terms of zip codes, you can find truly high-end items here. Around the first corner, visitors are greeted by an impeccable Bugatti EB 110 with low mileage. Surrounding the silver rocket from France are some of the finest sports cars and grand tourers produced by European manufacturers since the 1960s. My alarm went off early enough for me to jump into one of these cars, a 1971 Maserati Ghibli SS. Together with Miguel, assistant manager of Tomini Classics, we head into the desert to meet the dawn on an abandoned road among the dunes. I've always wanted to rent a classic car in the desert, a landscape with a clean, minimalist look that can't be reproduced without dump trucks filled with sand is exactly what my portfolio has been missing up to this point. However, classic cars and deep history are not the first things that come to mind when it comes to Dubai. The largest city in the UAE has earned attention for its rapid growth, huge and complex construction projects, and in just a few decades has become one of the most expensive cities in the world. From the point of view of a car enthusiast, Dubai has become home to many extravagant cars. Where do you think all these multi-million-dollar hypercars go? Wealth. And in some ways the need to stand out against the background of Rolls-Royces, Lamborghinis, Ferraris and Geländewagens from AMG, over the past few years has opened the way for rare collectible classics. And this despite the fact that the local climate and the ubiquitous sand is not the optimal environment for these cars. Well, at least they don't have rain and snow. Tomini Classics is a side project of the family-owned shipping company Tomini Group. The classic car movement began with a carefully curated private collection, with the first example in the garage being the E-Type Series 1, which appeared in 2010. Since then, the hobby has grown into a business ready to compete with institutions with a longer history. The owner, Mr. Sheikh, still drives one of these cars almost every day, and a team of 4 detailers and 8 mechanics maintain a fleet of 70 to 100 ever-changing models. Although what Tomini focuses on is clearly demonstrated by Ghibli, collectible 2-door sports car from post-war Europe, carefully examined in Dubai. We are not interested in restoration projects or pre-war examples. The latter would be too difficult. Most of our cars are older than the country itself, adds Miguel, laughing. The quad-cam Ghibli 4.9-liter racing engine wakes up with a typical V8 growl. Miguel shifts the 5-speed ZF gearbox with a careful and precise click, and we begin our journey to the Al-Qura desert. An orange glow flickers on the horizon, traffic is rare, and temperatures are well below their daily peak. In other words, everything is ready for Maserati to demonstrate what it does best, high cruising speed. Our smiles stretch from ear to ear after every downshift. I'm guessing a high-torque engine doesn't need these shifts to pass trucks on a multi-lane highway, but we want to enjoy the symphony of 4 Weber downdraft double-choke carburetors. Who would have done otherwise? Motorists would rather imagine this elite Italian Gran Turismo on a winding alpine road than here on the endlessly straight roads between the dunes. But it belongs to this place. Ghibli is the name of the hot and dry desert wind that happens in Libya, so we are not too far from the origins, are we? In 1966, when the wedge-shaped Maserati made its debut at the Turin Motor Show under the spotlights of the Ghia stand, it managed to win many hearts. Later, Vignale took over the production of steel bodies, with aluminum hoods. A more powerful Ghibli SS appeared in 1969 after the first, with 355 horses and a top speed of 285 km/h. Stunning numbers for those times. In total, only 425 SS Berlinettas left the factory between 1969 and 1973. The body, drawn by Gijiro, is smooth, and although it has certain edges, it still looks very streamlined. True, I do not think that the master imagined how his creation scurries through the desert landscape. After a 40-minute journey, we found a suitable spot for a few photos and the performance was not long in coming. Celeste's blue paint, Italian for heavenly, changes hue every 5 minutes, while the rising sun causes the sky to shimmer from dark blue to rich orange and back again. I whispered to myself wonderful several times, and it seems to me that Miguel, who sees the car every day, agrees with me, even despite the habit. Now we both understand why Gijiro called this silhouette his favorite piece of the era.